Right, hello everyone. Welcome to ARC Tier 1, Round 2 of the season. We are at Spa-Francorchamps, the one and only, the greatest track of all time. The driving through the Ardennes Forest. Just absolutely brilliant track. The Reaper at the moment, which is alright, got the track map up, got the track map. Yeah, so Reaper is first out on track, so we'll stick with Reaper. Let's see what he can do. I understand, well, looking at it now, it looks like we've got 15 in the 14 lobby. So, and I just looking down the list, and there is potentially one more to join, Arc Runner, who I reckon has fallen asleep, just like he did on comms the other night on Thursday, if you heard him. I reckon he's fallen asleep again. And, snoring his head off, I expect. He'd be so annoyed at missing it. But, hopefully he'll wake up before the end of qualifying. So, anyway, with the boss man. Some issues in Tier 2 before this, I believe. I've read a couple of things. I didn't have time to read much because I've obviously come out of the race myself and had to jump into comms for Tier 1, so I believe there's a few issues. I think overall the race wasn't too bad, but didn't seem on track. In a way, it seemed alright, but only one safety car, a couple of virtuals, but Tier 1 goes swimmingly. Comes through a Rouge, slight lift. Rouge. Which is understandable with if you take into account that there's only 15 there at the moment. Why risk your car crashing if you're already through as it stands? So a bit silly. So I know a few messages on Discord, so I'm just taking a quick look. Okay. Okay. So we put good alright. Through Poo 1. And to right-hander. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Poo 1. I saw him going through. So. See, he's just invalidated. I think that car ahead, although he's completely out of the way, not done anything wrong. So he was completely out of the way, but I just think it maybe took Reaper's eye a little bit off of where he was on the track, and it's just invalidated, unfortunately. So we move to that's Evan, but he's on a. There was somebody behind Reaper that was doing a night. So back behind. Ah, here we go. It's Hoff. I knew there was somebody, but he's invalidated as well. Who else? Gaza. Let's go to Gaza then. I think Gaza's next. So, all the cars ahead, I believe, are on outlaps. So I think Gaza is gonna be first to set a time for us. I believe the Tier 2 pole position time was 44.9, but that was set on a slightly damp track on the slicks. So I'm expecting a lot quicker here. The Q2 fastest time was a lot quicker on a 44.0. So we'll see guys across the line on a 45.2. To get us up and running then. That's a nice time to start us off. Oh, we got a Ferrari round. That's Birdie. Be careful, Birdie, this car's coming around. Just be a bit careful. Yeah, you done that fine. Well done, mate. Either side by side, those two. Yeah, but he's the one that's backed out, so he's not on a lap. Let's go to... First time we're seeing our current champion this season. He missed the first race, so... Let's go to Dogs. Dogs Ujit. And see how he gets on. And... Let's get this coming up now. Evening, Birdie. Evening, Mario. Hope you're both well. Both come through Puon. Down to the right-hander. Well, he was only in 6th approaching the right-hander. There's no way he's on a hot lap. Sorry. My screen says he's on a hot lap, but he's not. Hoff heading towards the line then. In the Alpine. And he goes up to P3 on a 51.6. Reaper, meanwhile, on his second attempt, has done a 45.7. That should see him comfortably through. But Hoff and Lord Da don't look like they've got proper times on the board there. Who is that? That is the Williams of Dog Use Yeats, who we know he's not on a lap. There's the other. Both the Haas are on outlap. Zico has found himself off into the gravel. That Alfa Romeo looks like he's going a bit quicker. So who's that then? That is Tart Evan. Right. Let's see. It is my turn in the comm seat now, mate. I'll listen back to yours. I've got to watch back a race that I won. Wow. It's my first ever ARC win. Over the moon with that. Win, fastest lap, and CRB. I can't be any happier. Dad's telling the cat off. So, and then heading through the dirt, double right-hander. Gaz is just retiring. He's done that in the pits, so he's happy with what he's done for the moment. There is a possible one more joiner, so yeah, all good. Thanks, Mario. Good. There is still another possible joiner. I reckon he's asleep, but Arc Runner may still join. There's a little bit of a weird glitchiness going on there. I don't know what that was all about. As Tart loses it across the line. Well, he's very, very lucky that hasn't retired him. He got the lap in, and just as he crossed the line, he just completely lost control. And ended up smashing into the wall. I'm amazed that hasn't lost a wheel. Completely smashed up his front wing, but there you have it. Let's come off of Tart then and go to... Oh, somebody else is in trouble there. It's Dogs. It's our current champion. He's not having a great start to the day. Oh, you pussycat. Where is she? Oh, Lizzie. Let's go to Innates then. It's just going through the chicane. It's not getting a proper time in. It's 2 minutes, so Reaper retires it as well. Also in the pits, I believe. Oh, is it in the pits? There is a yellow flag. No, that's for somebody who's moving again now. That was Ark Hoff. He's moving again, so he's okay. Walkie has invalidated. Ooh, ish. Running a bit wide. It's not. He must have lifted well enough because it's not invalidated him through Puon. So we'll stick with Fuggish. Aston Martin. It's up to the bus stop chicane. Brakes nicely for it. Nice entry. Decent exit. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer, but he corrects it. And across the line he comes on a 46.2. It's very nice indeed. Let's go to... No, Birdie's invalidated at Eau Rouge. Who else? Walkie is retired. The Haas are in the pits, so I think he's retired in the pits. Dodgy. Runner suddenly jumps in. tagging in the admin chat. I'm tagging runner over and over again. Ah, I messed that one up. It's got at run instead. Right. Who we got then? So Birdie's invalidated. Samuel's on an out lap in 8. Yeah, he's much quicker this time. Well, he was much quicker this time. He's managed a 45.4 this time. That's much better. Right, Bertie, as we said, is invalidated. I'm sure he's going to go another lap. So you say, if runner doesn't get in, then it's not going to matter anyway. Everybody will be through. The only one I'm not sure on is Walkie. I mean, it looked like both Haas were in the pits when he retired. In fact, well, one Haas is in the pits, so I think he's retired in the pits. So I think he'd be alright to take part in Q2. As Birdie makes his way through Eau Rouge. Got a speed trap of 127.5 miles an hour. Nice, dogs. Nice. Right. Right, I'm going to put Discord down now for the rest of get back to the stream. Right then. Birdie. He's going for Pouon, heads down to the right left. So important to get a good line through there so you can accelerate out of it. Down to this right-hander. And then get on the power out of there. It should be flat out through here, but it's always risky, as you've just seen. We have seen that so much this week. It's being our last race of the week at Spa. We head into, I'm glad everybody will love to know that we head into Jeddah week next week. So now Jeddah last year on 21 when it came out was a track that everybody, oh, and Sam, he's going to be so annoyed, he's just invalidated out of there. Yeah, sorry, Jeddah was a track that everybody was kind of scared of going into league racing when it was first being run. We all thought it was going to be a safety car fest. We thought it was going to be smashes everywhere. And then it turned out to be one of the least amount of safety cars we had all season. Like, Tier... Well, I can remember that Tier 2 didn't have a safety car, because I was in that race. First time round. And, I think Tier 1 had, if off the top of my head this is, I think Tier 1 had one and Tier 3 had one. So we had 2 safety cars out of 3 races there in last season. At a street track like that, where everybody thought it was going to be a safety car fest, it's pretty good going, really. I think possibly because it was a new track, everybody put effort into it to practice it. Whereas sometimes with these tracks that we've all been doing year after year on the games, we sort of take for granted that we know the tracks by now, but actually I think you need to practice before every race, really. There's always little things that you forget that come back to you if you do some practice. Still watching Sam. I don't know if he's going to cross the line or just go into the pits. I imagine he crossed the line. If it's not invalidated, just get a time on the board. And then dawdle round with no fuel. Yeah, so out the chicane he comes. Cross the line then on a 146.998. Just looking down the order. Sure if we've got anybody else Birdie's still out there. He has got a time on the board. Is Zico? Yeah, Zico's going faster now. Well, he was, in a way. As you can see, not really doing a proper lap now. Birdie is invalidated again. Sam is, well, he's not going to have the fuel to complete another lap, so Briefing Cow is on an out lap. He's going to be the next one to watch, really. Zico comes into the pits. Safe in the knowledge now that even if Arc Runner was to suddenly jump in, he's not going to have enough time to do a quali lap in Q1. Oh, Lord DA wants an invite. I didn't see him fall out. Sorry, Lord DA, I didn't notice that one. Lord DA, Lord DA. Oh, I could have done this on the menu in game instead. Probably would have been easier. Invite. There you go. So, Griffin Cow. Crosses the line to start another lap. So, safely through a Rouge. I was expecting big things from Briefing Cow tonight. And a mega result in the realistic tier on Thursday. Second. Well, he actually won the race on track and was demoted due to a penalty to second, but he did that in a Williams, which, as we know, is the worst car this year. So, he's already won the first race of the season in a Ferrari. He then comes P2 after penalties in the Williams. I'm finding it very hard to see Briefing being beaten in a realistic tier this season, but we'll see. Obviously, a long way to go. We're only 2 races in. Realistic tier is 16 races, so whereas the equal tiers are 15. So. Yeah, so long way to go. But if he keeps up the sort of performances he's doing, I think his name will be on the trophy on that one. Tier 1 equal performance, obviously a different kettle of fish, but I think he's going to go quickest here. He does indeed on a 44.7. There's a lot of, well, in fact, every driver in Quali 1 there can go quicker than they went in Q1, so you're not seeing the fastest laps. They were just practicing, really, ready for Q2. So, I'm expecting quite a close battle between Briefing Cow, Tart Evan, Fart Evan, and Innate for pole position. But there's also the likes of Dogs. Zico as well. Sorry. Forgot about Zico. I'm expecting something from him as well. Dogs, always capable. You still got others like Thuggish in there that can always put a spanner in the works. Reaper. But yeah, these 4 guys, the top 4 guys there, I'm expecting to be mighty close. I'm interested to see what time they can do. I was pretty confident in Q3 of Tier 2 that if I could have got a clean lap in, I could have got into the 43s reasonably comfortably. 43.8, something like that. So I'm really interested to see what these guys do, to see where I might have been. So into Q2 we go. Who's going out first? Now the real qualifying begins. I know a lot out there will be thinking, why do you still do full quali if you didn't have 16 drivers? But as I mentioned, we didn't know if Runner was going to join or not, so... And at the moment, in our rules, it just says it's full qualifying. We don't have anything written in that if it's under a certain number, we go to short, but I have started that conversation with admins, guys, so just a heads up that we are talking about it, okay? Yeah, I mean, it does strike me, yeah, if Q1's completely pointless, why not move it to short qualifying session? As I said, I've started the conversation in admin. It was only started earlier on today, so just bear with us and we'll hopefully come to a decision on that before next week. So, I myself as a driver, I much prefer doing full quali. I have to admit, much prefer full quali, but at the same time, you know, if it is pointless, it does save time. Josh does love his parties, doesn't he? A briefing cow. That Ferrari has chronic understeer, says Mario. Birdies, I meant. Oh. It works okay in TT, but it's shot on this. Last year Ferrari chat. I must admit, yeah, birdie, yeah, for my TT, I run an inverted wing of 9.5, but for the race tonight I ran, sorry, what am I talking about? 7.5 I run inverted in TT, but for the race tonight I upped the rear downforce to 10, so I was running 7.10, just to stabilise it a little bit. Helps with Eau Rouge, Pouhon, and the, I don't know what the second right-hander is, it's after Pouhon. So, in 8 then. Feels like an absolute age since I last saw an 8 drive. I dropped out of the championship last season. But he's back with us now on a new game. Really looking forward to seeing how he's getting on with it. So, through Pouhon. Oh, he's invalidated. I'm not sure how he invalidated then. He didn't seem to look... He didn't look like he ran wide to me, but... Game said he has. So, let's go to... Oh, no. Gaz is invalidated as well. He's the McLaren that's behind. I think there's a Williams behind that. Is it? Yeah, it's Dogs. He's invalidated as well. The Aston Martin then. Reaper. Reaper hasn't invalidated. So let's watch Reaper. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Careful. Oh, there's some debris there. Shouldn't hurt them in the equal divisions, because the damage is on standard. In the realistic tier, that could have given Reaper a puncture. We ran simulation. Completely ran over that debris. So Reaper crosses the line then, first one to put a time in Q2, 45.3, not a bad start at all. And Reaper go to, is it the other Aston Martin next? Who's that? They're in the pits. Yeah, it is indeed. So Fuggish heads for the line. There's a 44.5, goes P1 for the moment. Start having comes round the Chicane is going to go P3 on 45.3. The most important thing here is to getting times on the board. Samuel's managed a 46. He's actually slightly up in the first sector. I'm going to move away though, because there's other drivers a bit further around the track. They're on their first laps. And Nate is invalidated again. Who's that? That is Hoff. He's on a night lap. Who's the Ferrari? Ferrari is Zico. Who is well over 2 minutes into a lap, so I'm not sure what's going on there. As far as Evan heads up towards the end of the first sector. Apologies, I'll find someone in a minute. Briefing car is invalidated. Well, let's go to FRT Evan then in the McLaren. We'll see how he gets on. It's going to be another one that's right up there. Mario Seni ran 8.4 wings. I'm going to try... Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the same. I ran 7.10 on wings. PSI for the front tyres, I was all the way up to the left, but just one click in from the left. And on the rear tyres, I was 3 clicks in from the left. So I found that kept it nice, around 94, 95 degrees on all tyres. So, just about right. So there are a few issues as the tyres were getting worn. Probably had more issues as the mediums were getting worn. I think if I'd have stayed out, I ended up pitting because the safety car came out. If I'd have stayed out to when I was actually going to pit lap 10, I think it'd have been a little bit dodgy. Evan, in a way, FRT Evan has gone fastest. 44.1 at the moment. I still think we're going to see a 43 in Q3. Hoff is into the bus stop chicane. In the Alpine. Alpine need a good result here tonight. Started off really well. Alpine leading the combined constructors after week 1, but have had a torrid week so far this week. Up the win in tier 2. But other than that, only had one. Didn't score any points in tier 3. And the other driver in tier 2 retired. So really desperately want both drivers to bring the car home tonight. Make sure we get points. Birdie, unfortunately, is invalidated. This is... Oh, no, they're on an out lap. Dogs then. Let's go to Dogs, who's purpled the first sector. I find that very hard to believe on a 30.7. I don't think that's a real purple. So, getting a little way into the session now. A lot of drivers still to get a time on the board. If it stays like that and they struggle to get a time on the board, we could end up with anybody through. So, into the right hander. He comes through the second sector at 16.4. Evans retired from the session in the pits, so safely in the pits. He's happy that the 44.1 will get him through. I agree. I think that is perfectly good enough. Dogs then into the bus stop chicane. Comes out. I think he's heading for a 45. Is he? He's just about staying at 44 as he does. 44.989. Puts in P5. Let's move then. Invalid. So let's go to an 8 then. Well, actually, where's Reaper? I think Reaper's on. Oh no, he's invalidated as well. So yeah, we're definitely staying with an 8. He's also showing as purple in the first sector. You do for this Haas. Haas a hugely improved car in real life. They've done really, really well this year to come from where they were. Scoring regular points with Kevin Magnussen, and Mick Schumacher seems to have picked up in the last sort of few weeks now, few races. So, like really a decent car they've put together, to be fair. Boys. So, unfortunately, Innate has invalidated. Just move on, then DA's invalidated and into pits away. Zico's into the pits. Well, they're going to get a time on the board. Is Innate into the pits or is he going round? He's going round, so we'll stick with Innate then. Yeah, the car coming up to the chicane is Dogs, who I'm sure will be coming into the pits. Sorry, actually, so has Lord DA invalidated this lap? No, he hasn't actually, so sorry, we've moved to Lord DA then. So he's on a proper lap now. He's showing that he's purpled the first sector. Everybody's purpled the first sector. Obviously, they can't all purple the first sector. It's just a silly thing that the game does, because he hasn't got a time on the board at the moment, which is why it does it. So, DA then. Out of this right-hander that's really proven a problem all week. Throughout the week, in every race, it's been a problem, that right-hander. People spinning left, right and centre around there. That's, DA comes round on what to me has looked like a really decent lap, actually. Oh, I think we've got a problem. We've got a problem. Oh, I'm not sure. Somebody spun on that right-hander that I mentioned, and they've collided. Samuel and Innate have ended up colliding, and both of them are out of qualifying. So Samuel currently occupies P10 on a well, no, he doesn't actually. I mean, he does, but he's on a 46.0. If somebody goes faster than, well, but Hoff is on a 150.1, so if somebody goes faster than Hoff but not as quick as Sam, they will go into P9 and Hoff will drop down to P12. So, just going to nip to Hoff. I think he is on a lap actually, so he's slightly down in the first sector, but next to nothing. He runs wide though out of that right-hander, which will really hurt his speed. I'm just wondering has he got enough time to call this lap off and go again. Yeah, he should do. I think if I was him, I'd turn off the ERS and go again. We'll keep with him, see what he's like through the second sector. So, with the right-hander then, first of this double, and he's a quarter of a second up, so he's improving. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to manage to gain enough to keep him in for Q3, but he's guaranteed a decent starting position at least. So, both Alpines, unfortunately from Q2, as it comes through the bus stop chicane, and over the line. It's a big improvement, 2.3 seconds, 47.7. Again, though, I don't think that's quick enough. As long as Zico gets the time in, I don't think it's going to be good enough, but he's got to get that time in. His teammate Birdie, who's ahead of him on track, has invalidated his lap. So Birdie is out. So it's all about Zico, and Zico invalidates. So Zico is out in Q2. Multiple attempts, so both Ferraris are heading out, and Hoff will go through to Q3, so congratulations Hoff on that one. Gaza was up in sector 1, he's just coming through to sector 2, but he doesn't need to set a time now. Just, he's a 10th down in sector 2. So, no, when I first looked at Zico, he was fine, but then he invalidated somewhere. And, he's now crashed out of that right-hander. So I have it all to do in a race. I'm sure a driver of Zico's calibre will fancy coming through the field to still attack for a podium at least. But he's got it all to do. Reaper has 3 temps up through sector 2, coming into the bus stop chicane now. So he's heading for a 45.0, maybe a bit quicker. Nope, 45.1 in the end. Stays P6. So should be. He's going to hit across the line it's quicker, just across the line. And that will be the end of qualifying 2. So we've lost one of the big guys. Oh no, we've lost at least 2 of the big guys. Yeah, so no offence to Sam and Birdie, but we've lost Innate and Zico, which is a huge surprise. But one that Hoff will be over the moon with to get a Q3 appearance, so congratulations to him. That means that Alpine, we know, will start P9 and P10, Ferraris will start P12 and 13. Congratulations to everybody that is through, so it's going to be a 9-man shootout for pole position. I'll be back with you in a second. I'm just going to take a quick break and grab myself a coffee. I won't be a moment. Okay guys, I am back, and all of a sudden we are raining for the final qualifying session, so maybe that's why we're seeing a lot of guys quite happy to do a lot of laps on the softs in the previous 2 sessions, because they knew it was going to be wet for the final one. Sorry, who's furthest round? I think it's Reaper. Yeah, it is indeed. So Reaper furthest round, he's got Hoff quite close to the back of him. So Hoff just backed off a little bit. No point in following too close. So obviously completely different game now, or a completely different track now. Can't begin to tell you how much more difficult it is in the wet. Now we're in intermediate tyres, so it depends how wet it is, and it does look quite wet to me. So I would suggest we're going to be seeing times in the mid 150s. It's hard to know exactly until they start getting some times on the board, and it will probably get gradually quicker, lap after lap as well. So it's enough of running on board and seeing the conditions. Hoff backs nicely back now to stay away from Reaper and create his own space. So I think that we've got Reaper followed by Hoff, followed by Dogs, all pretty close together. So let's a lap on the board first. So Reaper over the line then. It's turn 1. Brakes nicely for it, and car wobbles a little bit on exit, but it's to be expected. Trying to find where the limits are. I think everybody sort of... Oh, he's invalidated through Eau Rouge. That seemed like a bit of a harsh invalidation, I have to say. I've seen people go a lot further over the line than that and not get invalidated before. I'm not convinced he had 3 wheels over the line, so... Off then. Still going on his lap. It's got... should see Dogs just appear in the background. He runs quite wide. He might have invalidated their Dogs. I'm just going to quickly flip to him. No, he didn't, so he is still going. No offense to Eric Hoff, but Dog's got quite a lot of pace on him, so just a little bit worried that Dogs might catch the back of him before the end of the lap. But in all fairness, to be absolutely honest with you, even if Dogs does catch him, it's not Hoff's problem. Dogs is responsible for creating a gap for himself. He knows who the driver is ahead of him, so you know that's his responsibility. Certainly can't be expecting another car that's on a hot lap of their own to get out of the way for him, so he may just... I was going to say maybe better served. And look at this! Wow, that was close. Come on now, it's a bit silly that. I'm sorry Dogs, but that is you, buddy. It's a bit silly. He's on a hot lap as well. So, apologies, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I won't bother keeping the tyres on. I was thinking about it just in case there's a change late on in the session, but looking at the weather, I don't think there's going to be. Sorry, there's an Aston Martin, that was Fuggish, that's coming through the bus stop. So Dog's time was 56.7. I think Fuggish is just going to be a bit slower than that. P2 57.2. Who's the McLaren? That is Gaza. Nope, 2 minutes, 1.3. Let's go to nope, Reaper's invalidated. So let's go back to no, Fuggish. Push him up to the end of sector 1. Yep, so Fuggish is still going, so we'll stick with Fuggish. Others completing their 8 laps, so... Ooh, cool, a bit of a slide out wide there from Fuggish, that looked pretty cool. So... I think it would have cost him any time, it's pretty quick. You're heading up to Pouhon now, this long left-hander. And Gaza is out. Gaza's crashed. I think if I go to Briefing Kai, we might just spot this. It's round this right-hander, so be careful, Briefing. Oh, he's over on the right-hand side. You're okay. So let's get back to Fuggish, who was still improving a bit. 10th and a half up in the second sector. So... Strider. Awesome. Later. Right then, let's come down. So, Fuggish has gone fastest now then, 56.4. Clearly, he had a lot of time to gain in the final sector. And Hoff is out. He's crashed in exactly the same place as Gaza did. We're with TRT Evan now. Briefing Cow, meanwhile, has gone into P2 on a 56.446. That's 16 thousandths of a second slower than Fuggish at the moment. But to say, you generally see guys improving lap after lap. I'd imagine Fuggish is probably doing a energy recovery lap, a bit of a cool down. The yellows were nothing to worry about there. That was just the other Alfa Romeo of Lord DA getting out of the way of Aston, and TRT Evan is round, and it's our favourite corner again. A slightly different spin, that one, to what we usually see, but there we have it. Yeah, Fuggish not doing a lap. Lord DA's have validated. Well, why is FRT Evan still in the pits? He literally needs to come out now, otherwise he's not going to get round. So for whatever reason. Is that him heading out? I didn't see what car that was. No, I don't think it is. Oh well. It's his choice. So, oh no, Reaper's just invalidated. Lord DA just started a lap. Fuggish, I think, is going again now. So just coming up to the end of sector 1. And again, he finds a 10th and a half. The rain does look a little bit lighter than it was at the start of the session, you know. So maybe... And he slides the back of the car out again on exit out of there. That looks so cool. I gotta be honest. That does look cool when he does that. Goes up to Buon. Taking it in 6th this time, which is a good sign. That shows he's gaining confidence. He took it in 5th last time. And it's 3rd for this one. It's usually before thin, dry, maybe even 5th. Heads up. 2nd straight. Back straight if you like. It's looking good. It's looking a decent lap, this from Fuggish. I think he's going to raise the bar. As long as the bus stop goes okay. Let's see what I think is the 100-metre board. And a little bit wide on exit, but it's on the power nicely. And he is going to improve very nicely up to a 55.4. Now 1 second quicker than the 2nd place driver. Lord DA is on his way up to the bus stop chicane now. Comes out of the chicane and heads for the line, and it's a 58.3, which puts him P4. He'll be happy to have a time on the board. FRT Evan has come out on track and made it across the line, so that's good. He's going to get a lap in. TRT Evan may not make... I don't think he will make this, you know. He's on an out lap. He's heading up to the bus stop. Well, it's going to be tight. Yeah, I think I'm wrong. I think he's just gonna do this. Well, we know he's got the best track conditions if it is getting drier. TRT Evan over the line with a couple of seconds to go. Any improvements? Yeah, Briefing Cow has gone fastest on a 54.9. Oh, there is a car. That is Dogs. Hello, Rouge. Turning around, be careful. TRT Evan's coming up. Yeah, well done, Dogs. Oh, and that was Lord DA. He's taken a massive whack. amazingly, that hasn't retired the car, but what a huge whack that was he's taken. Be careful, Lord DA, you got your teammate coming round. Just go to FRT Avon, a bit further around the track. So, I didn't notice we lost Reaper at some point there. Looks like there's a couple of drivers that maybe out of fuel. Yellow flags following them. FRT Evans coming up to one of them as they're currently in the chicane, but should be out of the way in plenty of time. So Evan throws it into the chicane, comes out nicely, and heads to the line. It's a 56.1, puts him into P3, as Briefing Cow goes fastest again on a 54.3. What a lap! What a lap from Briefing Cow. He's taken pole position by over a second as it stands right now. TRT Evan, can he do anything about it? It's really difficult to do it on the first lap on intermediates. On a set, they'd like to be worn in a little bit through the inters. See what he can do. Well, he's on one. He's already missed it, so he comes across the line on a 2-minute .8, which puts him up to P7. But Lord DEA, of course, doesn't have a front wing, so into the pits he comes, and that's the end of qualifying. So, congratulations to Briefing Cow, taking pole position by over a second. But I can tell you that Fuggish will be just as delighted with P2 on his 55.4. He's just ahead of FRT Evan, which P3, right at the end, just on one lap, is pretty impressive, to be fair. I'm sure if we'd have had multiple laps, he'd have gone quicker. Lord DA in P5. Sorry, Dogs in P4. Lord DA P5. Hoff 6. Which is brilliant from Hoff. Congratulations to Hoff on P6. TRT Evan P7. Gaza 8. Reaper 9. I know Gaza didn't really get... He left us quite early within that session, so didn't really get a chance to set a proper lap. Same for Reaper. But, yeah. Okay, so confirmation of the results for the top 9 then. P10, I'm trying to think back to who it was. Was it Samuel? I can't remember. But well done to those guys. Right, well, we're in for a fantastic race. We'll see. According to our graphic here, it's going to be dry, but let's just take a quick gander. Nobody ready up. If any drivers are listening, do not ready up. It just causes a restart. The admins will not say, let's carry on. It will be a restart. So do not ready up. We had to restart in Tier 2, and it was a pain in the bum. Right then, okay, it does look like it's going to be a dry race, which is fantastic, and gives us the best opportunity for battles and clean racing. So, looking forward to this. Guys, I'm going to take my usual break. I'll be back in a few minutes, ready for the start of the race. I'll see you in a moment. worry. Oh, I'm not even got my headset on. Right, guys. Well, I don't know about you lot, but I'm ready. Let's see what happens. So, just waiting for the shout out to go out. I don't know if there's some confusion over who's supposed to be doing that. So, it's entirely sure what's going on. Anything put in the chat and the stream, is there? Yes, pretty. Tired and fart. I can't keep calling them that. I've got to use their proper names. And the countdown started. Reaper's giving the shout out. I don't know whether there was an issue there, or I don't know whether there was maybe some confusion between Fuggish and Reaper, who was doing the shout out to start. So I think Fuggish did all the stuff at the start, but Reaper's just done that one. Never mind, it doesn't matter because we're counting down and getting ready to go. So. I'm worried about Runner. Very unlike him to miss a race like this. I have known him fall asleep before, let's be honest, but still a bit worrying. Let's hope he's okay. Tyres then. So the top 5 all start on the mediums. Hoff's opted for the hards. May leave him a little bit vulnerable at the start, but allows him to get his long, slower stint out of the way. Evan then mediums. Gaz has gone for the hards this time. Zico's been disqualified as his walkie. We seem to have lost the driver. Can't quite work out who the driver is that we've lost, but we do seem to have lost someone. I'm sure we had 15 in qualifying, unless I'm wrong. Anyway, Gaz on the hards, then the next 3, so Reaper, Samuel, Innate, all on mediums, then Bertie on the hards. Zico and Walkie have been disqualified both on mediums. Obviously the disqualifications don't really matter, they'll just be on the grid ready to start. It's not an issue. I don't know what it starts your tyres on, but it honestly doesn't make any difference. Within a few corners they're warmed up again. Maybe slightly slower off the line, but that's about it. So, how many do we lose not hitting their grid slots? Looks like 2. Any others? Look at that distant picture, that's quite good actually. I say quite good, I can't actually see anything, but that's a bit better I suppose. So, the lights begin coming on. There's 2, 3, 4, 5... long pause and away we go. And that looked to me like Briefing Cow reacted very nicely to the start and isn't going to be challenged into turn 1. Fuggish is going to come under a bit of attack, I think. And Alpine runs wide. There's a McLaren round. That's Gaza round further down. We're well up in contact. It's not the easiest of first corners. And we do lose a driver. We've lost in 8. Oh my word! Goodness me. Well, there's chaos going on at Eau Rouge. It's a virtual safety car. Unfortunately, we've lost in 8 from the race. But I think Zico and Hoff were both involved in that as well. In one way or another. It was a shame for Hoff after a fantastic qualifying for him. Finds himself down at the back. I'm waiting for a camera angle. It might actually tell us if he's got any damage. Zico's definitely got damage. And, well, the front wing looks intact. Depends on the rest of the car. Let's hope he's okay. As I say, Zico has lost his front wing entirely. So, we are racing again. My apologies. Samuel makes his way past Lord DA there. Struggling for a close one. Burley's quite close to the back of Walkie. He was up to P8 by the way. Great start from Walkie. Burley does get ahead of Walkie. I'm not sure what's happened to Walkie there. It's like he just backed out and let everybody through. Never used to do that, Walkie. Like your grand man. Supposed to be there same as anyone else. Fuggish leads at the end of lap 1 then. So Walkie and Reaper are into the pits. I don't know what happened there with Walkie, that was a bit strange. But Walkie and Reaper into the pits. Briefing Cow chasing Thuggish. He would absolutely love to get that first place back. I could say that Zico stayed out despite having no wing. He stayed on track. He's not come in to get a new wing. Hoffa stayed out as well. But we could see there wasn't any front wing damage, and there's not much the pits can do about any other sort of damage if there is any. And Hoff is round at Eau Rouge once more. He's not enjoying Eau Rouge in the race so far. Just get going again. I'm just wondering if he's got rear wing damage. It would explain it. But let's see anyway. Let's see where he goes from here. This is Zico with no wing on the front end. He's going to be super quick on the straights. Look at this. He's still in 7th there. I'd imagine he got a warning for that unless he managed to back out. But entire turnaround. On last year's game, on F1 21, you never ever have dreamed of driving a car around with no front wing. That is somebody forward. Who is it? That is the Williams of Dogs. That's Dog Ujit. So our Tier 1 champion in his first race of the season has a spin. It's in that corner again as Zico goes deep into the chicane. He's side by side with Gaza. This is so hard to believe, isn't it? He's got no front wing and is attacking the car ahead. Absolutely remarkable. Gaza on this occasion defends it. He's in a Ferrari sandwich at the moment. Dogs pits. And we'll take a new front wing, I would guess, there. So, as Lord DA has found his way back past Samuel. So, both drivers off to a decent start in this race. So, I think, saying in a battle as that is, look at this battle for the lead now. Both drivers have been saving their energy, they're not using it. Look, Thuggish eventually uses a touch, but it's probably just to defend a little bit from the tow that Briefing Cow would have been getting from him. But Briefing Cow at the moment, perfectly happy just to sit there, save energy. Oops, sorry, I dropped down Stog's then. Thuggish defends once more into the bus stop. They head down to turn 1. They've got the two Evans chasing them down. This is what I was saying, that I thought Briefing Cow would love to get into P1 as quick as possible. But Thuggish, of course, is not just going to move out the way for him. It's like the tiniest little lift there. Briefing opens up the DRS. As you can see, don't get anywhere near Thuggish that time. And no change of positions from the two Evans. But the top 4 now creating a real gap to the 5th place man, Lord DA. He's just gotten away a little bit from Samuel now. Just 1.25 seconds ahead. Zico has gotten past Gaza despite having no wing. He's into P7. Got to give it to him. That is hugely impressive. I mean, yes, I know they don't have the effect they did in previous years, but front wings. But still, it's still impressive. It's only lap 4, and he's gotten used to driving it enough to be able to make an overtake. So, you know, what Gaza will know is, of course, that he's on the hards, Zico's on the mediums. At some point, those hards are going to come good on the mediums. But also, he knows Zico's got a penalty and will need a new front wing when he pits, so he knows that car is coming back to him. It's not disappearing anywhere just yet. Fuggish, once again, is defending like a lion to hold on to, well, a puma, I suppose. He's thanks Fuggish Puma, so defending like a puma to hold on to this lead. His mirrors fill up with 3 cars behind him now. Actually, genuinely think it wouldn't be the worst case scenario if he could just hold this lead for 2 or 3 more laps. It wouldn't be the worst case scenario if he had got a safety car at some point then. But, well, the thing is, he's not really coming under attack at all, is he? You look back, TRT Evans used a lot of energy to defend from FRT Evan, as Samuel and Zico are battling. Was a change of position at one point there, but Samuel defends it off in the end. I've got to go back again. Look at this. Oh, Briefing Cows putting it in the inside in Pouhon and down to the right-hander, side by side, and that's fantastic racing from both drivers. Well done, both of you. Follow through the right-handers, and just wondering. Yeah, Briefing Cow is using a bit of energy this time to try and get away a bit. Briefing Cow will know that's important, and he'd be very, very happy that he's put Fuggish in between him and the 2 Evans. Look how well they're all driving now, all 4 of them. Superb. The only problem sometimes, Zico's gotten ahead of Samuel, so we do miss other things because you end up stuck on the front drivers. So you do miss other things. We got Hoff and Dogs battling as well. Not that that's telling us anything. Bit of contact there. It's a horrendous camera angle from Coders there. And oh, look at Ninja Reaper just nipping through. Taking advantage of that. There was a bit of contact there. Wilkie driving around on his own at the moment. Fuggish retakes the lead. And FRT Evan has got ahead of TRT Evan, so double overtake there. Up in front. As the other McLaren of Gaza also makes up a position, going past Samuel. Imagine if real F1 was like this, we're battling like this. We've got a sets of 3 yellow. That's Wilkie has spun out of the usual right-hander that everyone's spinning at. So, from Cow looks like he's shaping up for a possible move into the chicane. Not going to be close enough, I don't think. TRT, I was so close to back to on the back of the McLaren there. It looks like TRT is going to take that position. So TRT Evan gets back ahead of FRT for P3. Wilkie is coming to the pits to put some soft tyres on. I don't know what it's going to do for him. Absolute most, he'll get 7 laps out of the softs, no more. And even then, they don't feel good after. They don't feel good on a 7th lap, to be honest. It's 6 really is the limit. They're also, after 7 laps, they're over 3 seconds slower than when you put them on after just 7 laps, so they really don't last. Looks like the Evans are just dropping back a little bit from Fuggish and Briefing Cow at the moment. So, see if that continues. Maybe they're running in Bad air. He's costing them time. Sort of hurting their tyres a little bit and now costing them time. Just realised I haven't been on the stream, so I apologise if I've missed any chats. Evening, Andrews. And all, indeed. Mario's still with us. Hello, Mario. Can't believe I'm seeing Zico pass. I know, it's insane, isn't it? How well the cars still drive with no front wing. It's just mad. Okay, Andrews, no worries. And come on, Fuggish, says Mario. I agree. Fair play to him. He knows. I mean, no offence to him, but in this group of four, he is technically the slowest driver out of the four, but he ain't showing it right now, is he? My word, he's showing he can fight with these boys in a race. So they may be a lot quicker than him when it comes to qualifying, but when he's got the race pace there, hasn't he? Oh, Fuggish. Which, when you consider how hard this young man works in real life and how little time he spends on track compared to most of us, is highly impressive. New one, a little one on the way as well. Just gonna due soon. I don't know if I should have said that on stream. My apologies, Fuggish, if I shouldn't have. What a battle we're being treated to, though. So I feel a little bit guilty because we don't get to see anyone else, but sorry, excuse me. Ridiculously, that Zico has now caught the back of Lord DA. He's just dropped out a second. He was just inside us a moment ago. His briefing to have a look into the chicane. He thought about it, but thought better of it in the end. Now, it is going to be interesting because at the moment there's no sign. I'm touching wood when I say this, but Dogs retires. Where's that happens? Because I have no idea where that's happened, if I'm honest. The car just seems to disappear straight away. Well, at least it means we're not going to get a safety car, so... Sorry to lose Dogs, of course. Into the pits has come Bertie. It's a bit early to come in off the hard tyres. He's sticking on a set of softs. So he's going then with a two-stop. These four continue battling. As I say, it's just I can't very well move off for this. Meanwhile, Zico with no front wing has now made his way up into 5th place past Lord DA. And Lord DA, we know, is no slouch. Let's put it that way. So, I mean, that's just incredible. It really is. He's going to be ramming the walls on TT to try and get his wing taken off. He's trying to prove his time. You can see through these tighter corners, though, can't you? That Lord DA's got has got an advantage. You can see that. It's I think it's in the straights. He's just got no downforce, so he's flying. As Evan has a go at Briefing Cow for P2. Briefing Cow rejoins. He's picked up a 3-second penalty for that. Evan goes through. And we've lost Wolke on the usual corner. That could be a safety car. And indeed it is. And it is perfectly timed. I'm going to be honest. This couldn't have come at a better time for Fuggish. He's on lap 10. The mediums are giving up right now. I can tell you that for certain. They have had enough. And this is the lap that you'd expect a pit to move to hards. So this couldn't have come at a better time for Fuggish. Because he was going to be forced into staying out as long as he could. Otherwise, he'd have been vulnerable to the overcut. So, I must admit, I don't think the overcut's as powerful here as it is at other tracks. In fact, I actually do think that the undercut's very much possible, because tyres by lap 10, those mediums will have so much taken out of them that the horse be considerably quicker. So the undercut actually could have been possible, but it just nullifies all of that. He'll be able to recharge his energy. He's got a different man battling him now. He's got Evan into P2 now, rather than Briefing Cow. But I have to say, what a fight Thuggish has put up. It's been absolutely awesome, the defence. And you know, he did lose to P1 at one point, but gained it back. And just shows the character of the young man. And, well, the other one, yeah, you've got to take your out to Zico. He's made his way back up to P5 with no front wing. A safety car has come out. He's going to be able to get a new front wing under safety car. Gaza has gotten into P6. FRT Evan pitted previously, so... Where are the McLarens? I can't see them. Hang on, how's this happened? He's never going to take the lead, surely. He's going to take P3. He's somehow got an undercut on Briefing Cow through the pit stops. I really don't know how that's happened, but it has. And FRT Evan takes P3. So, what a race we're being treated to. And Hoff retires. Hoff's crashed in Sector 2. So we're already under safety car. So Hoff has crashed under safety car. Never good. But we are back to even Stevens then. Thuggish leads from Evan. Evan has a penalty. FRT Evan in P3. Penalty free. Briefing Cow P4 with a penalty. Lord DA P5. Gaza 6. Samuel 7. Zico, after the pit stops, has dropped back down to 8th. Obviously, they're taking a bit longer putting a new wing on. Reaper is in P9. Birdie P10. All these guys doing really well. It's proven a seriously difficult track at Spa-Francorchamps this week. Obviously, remember, it's the week of the update as well, of the 1.06 patch, and things have changed drastically since the update in terms of car handling and that. Yeah, it is, Mario. We're really being treated here. Proper mint battle. And I don't think it's going to stop somehow after the restart. We could genuinely be really treated to having it all the way through to the end. So, Gaza then, P6, but because of the safety car, is caught up to the leaders and is on fresh medium tyres. They will comfortably take him to the end from here. Same for Birdie. So he's just waiting for Birdie to catch the back. I would argue Birdie doesn't want to catch the back before the end of this lap. It's probably a bit late anyway for the safety car to come in. Yeah, Birdie wants the next lap to be under safety car as well, because he's also on mediums. So Gaza will be happy for the safety car not to come in this lap. It's one less race lap that those mediums are going to have to do. But yeah, so I do feel a bit sorry for the other drivers because they don't get the time on the stream that they deserve. But I'm afraid it's just one of those things. When you end up with a battle like that, you can't start watching elsewhere. And the one time I did, Thuggish got past Briefing Cow to retake the lead, and the Evans switched positions all up the straight, Anger Straight, so, or whatever it's called. Is it Anger Straight or is that Silverstone? I can't remember. Whatever straight it is. Brian told me on Thursday what straight it is, and I still can't remember. This straight. I just call it the big straight. Swap of position there. Under Samuel has gone ahead of Gaza. Is that actually a swap of position, or is that where Gaza was? I can't quite remember, but they did seem to... I definitely saw the arrows come up. Whether Gaza got slightly ahead of Samuel and then gave it back or not, I don't know. One thing I do know is the safety car will be in this lap. We will have 10 laps remaining. The perfect number of laps for a medium set of tyres. A little bit short for the hards. Obviously, mediums will be slightly worn from the safety car laps. But, oh! That's Zico! He's dropped to the back. He now had the two Ferraris at the back. Oh, Zico, after all that work you did. Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure he's able to do it all again. And I'd imagine his teammate Birdie would be more than willing to let him go after the guys in front, to be quite honest with you. Zico served his penalty in the pits. I forgot to write it all down on a pad of paper, so I'm going to have to just back to help Andrews out as he's on holiday. I think the guys still on track that had penalties are the ones that are showing now, plus Zico. So, as far as I'm aware, all the others are still penalty free. I've just noticed that Reaper is on 10 lap old hards. So, the safety car certainly hasn't come at an ideal time for him. As we get going again then, Fuggish goes early before the chicane. Evan looks to follow him. And I do seem to have caught FRT Evan out a little bit. Watch the two leaders going back to these two. I think this could be a possible move from Brief and Cow. He went to the outside, but he just didn't have the pace to make a move work into the right-hander. So, we know Evan's strong, we know he's fast, we know he's going to be able to attack Fuggish. But can Fuggish keep up the sort of defence that he was having against Brief and Cow in the first stint as Zico is going around again? I think at the same place as last time. I don't know if he's trying to get rid of his wing again. So we can go with the wing. Head back to the front two. I'm just going to say now, I don't know who's going to win this race. I've no idea. But, oh, there's a bit of contact there. I don't know who's going to win this race, but I have to say that if Fuggish did go on to win this race, it'd be one of the greatest wins I've seen in ARC. The way he's had to defend basically from start to finish. So much pressure on him, but he's doing such a great job. Zico, sorry, not Zico, I think Evan needs to choose his moments a bit better than the attempts into the chicane. I'm not saying he did anything wrong at all, I'm just saying he didn't really need to make the move. Just wait for the DRS opportunity up the main straight. So DRS should be active again next lap. You saw Reaper there come into the pits. He stuck a set of softs on to go to the end. You're actually going to struggle to get the end on those, Reaper, believe it or not. There's 9 laps remaining. The softs really struggle at 7. So, and I'm talking 70% wear. You may want to pit again later and go for a fastest lap, I suggest. But Fuggish at the moment continuing to hold off Evan as it stands. Evan still applying as much pressure as he can. This time Fuggish defends the inside of the chicane. He has to take the longer way round on the exit, but he's got a good exit again, has Fuggish. Used as a spot of energy. Just to climb the gears a bit better. This has allowed FRT, Evan and Brief and Cow to catch up to the back of these guys. So we're back into this 4-driver battle again. I'm just quickly going to move to Gaza because he's on the back of Lord D8. Actually, yeah. Lux 7 isn't going to get a move done on Fuggish. He's too far behind. So let's just go to Gaza. He's a bit closer to Lord D8. Goes to the inside. Oh, there's a little squeeze of tyres there. But Gaza then comes across to take the racing line. And that was a solid overtake from Gaza. So up into P5 goes the McLaren. So the McLaren's currently running P3 and P5. A strong evening for them. So we return to the leaders. Just see how difficult it is, though, can't you, to overtake in a DRS train? I don't know what wings Fuggish is running, but somehow he's managing to defend on the straight despite the DRS. And the way it's happening, because Evan is closing up, well, everybody's closing up to Fuggish on the corners, so I do think that maybe Fuggish is running a low downforce, enabling him to defend up the straight, which is obviously the best overtaking opportunity. He uses energy out of turn 1 up to Eau Rouge, so not all the way up to Eau Rouge, but up to Eau Rouge, comes out of there, and look at the gap he's now created, which means Evan is just too far back. And just a note that Gaza got about, sorry, not Gaza, Fuggish has got about 13% more energy than Evan, so he's actually using less energy than Evan is, which could obviously benefit him in the later stages. As FRT Evan now picks up a penalty, so Fuggish is the only one of the top 4 currently penalty free. He's looking around the outside. Within the tight. Oh, there's contact. Oh, no. It's ended in tears. There was an initial contact, what looked like from Fuggish on Evan. I don't know if Evan then lost it. They headed off the track together. It was obviously going to be a full safety car. Oh, what a shame that that's ended in tears. That really is. Because that was an absolutely superb battle up to there. Now, leaders, are they coming in? Are they coming in for softs, or are they staying out? Someone's got to gamble to the softs, and it looks like it's Lord D8 that's going to do it. Look at Gaza now running P2 with no penalties. Absolutely nowhere, and a spin on turn 1 of the first lap. Gaza's now going to be in a great position. Samuel in the Alpine moves up to P3. Birdie's up to P4 for Ferrari. Reaper will be allowed to get onto the back of the pack. He's on 2-lap-old softs. The safety car is probably going to mean that Reaper doesn't need to pit again, although it might have been wise to actually pit and just stick another fresh set of softs on. Mind you, we might not have any fresh sets of softs, so he may have done 3 laps and 8 lap hot lap in lap on whatever next set he would have, so it may be that he may as well just stay out. What a shame, Mario, eh? What a shame. I don't really know. That's one of those I really can't call. I think that would obviously have to be looked at by stewards, but I really can't call that one. It didn't really look... I mean, the initial contact didn't look particularly large, but I think Evan caught the curb then, which is what sent him across into Thuggish and sent them both off track. But we've obviously got it perfectly on stream for any investigation into that. What a shame for both of them. I do really feel for Thuggish on that, but I feel for both of them. So they both ran great races. But, it was 16 laps effectively, 15 and a half laps, where Thuggish had just really defended like a puma. Worked so hard, so such a shame. It's just a... Oh, you're kidding, Walkie. See, I can't see that this year. That's something they changed on the broadcast. So, on like, you can see it as well as I can. I can't see that Samuel is in AI. So, well, that's frustrating. So that means Alpine won't pick up any points again. I mean, I'm going to be the only point scorer this week for Alpine. I know in the Tier 2 qualifying, I think it was, that Samuel broke his wheel, but it says an AI, but he's not ghosting. I know ghosting's off, isn't it? So yeah, he wouldn't be. Can't view his gamer card either, for whatever reason. So yeah. So we can take Sam out the equation then. So actually, Birdie is currently Birdie was currently running in P3, but he's just spun it under safety car. Ah, Birdie! Ah, Birdie! Getting a bit excited, maybe. So that promotes then. That will mean that Lord DA is effectively running in P3, but it means we've got an AI stuck in P3, which is a pain in the bum. I noticed Reaper had the AI at 70, which means it will be a pain. It's never quite right, is it? Because he's got the AI at 70, which means it's going to be a bit of a pain to get past, while still braking a bit early on people. But if you keep it really low so it's easier to get past, then it brakes so early that it causes a real problem. So, safety car in this lap then. We'll get going once more. So Briefing Cow will get us underway again. Guys are now running in an incredible position. We're going to have 4 laps to the end. Let's take a quick look at the penalties. I don't like looking at them too early, but it's not too bad. Lap 18, 1 to 19. So Briefing Cow 3 seconds, Lord DA 3 seconds, Evan 3 seconds, Birdie has 12. It could be weird if all 8 finished. That means we had 8 finishers in both Tier 1 and 2, but one of them in both races being an AI. Spooky. Briefing Cow goes again before the chicane. It's catching people out. That's what I did in Tier 2 as well. No, I didn't. I didn't restart the safety car. I was in P2, but I was expecting the guy ahead of me to do it, and he did. So Briefing Cow, it's a good restart and has already made a second up to Gaza, but Gaza's also made a second up to the AI of Samuel. How quickly can Evan get past this AI? I thought he was going to go side by side through Eau Rouge with an AI. I wouldn't have recommended that one. He's going to try and do it up into the right-hander at the end of the straight. So Evan, that's an important move for Evan. Reaper is round. Thankfully, everybody's avoided him. He's removed his end plate. Why not? Zika. Oh, reset to track, Reaper, if you're stuck. Reset to track before it disqualifies you. Oh, Reaper! Oh, and now Birdie's round as well. Reaper's usually, or used to listen to the comms. I don't think he does anymore. I think he's in a party chat normally now. I think it definitely looked like he was stuck there. Yeah, they had a big coming together, Andrews. It was a big crash. Side by side, and Zico was round. These Ferraris are not having a good time. Look, Bertie's round as well. I've got a sneaky feeling that I don't know about Bertie, but I got a sneaky feeling that Zico may have some rear wing damage, but I'm not entirely sure. Gaza has let Evan go. Meanwhile, truth being, Evan needs to allow Gaza to stay. He wants to go after the win, does Evan? Ideally, he wants Gaza to stay within his 1 second so he can tow him along, because Gaza's got the best opportunity being penalty free. I think teamwork, but he's disappeared and is trying to chase after Briefing Cow. He's going to try and win it on track instead. I mean, if those two start fighting, then it may allow Gaza to get back within the 3 seconds of the leader. So maybe Evans chasing Briefing Cow down might not be the worst thing for Gaza. And, well, the Ferraris have had a very difficult day today, but they're both there. They're both bringing their car home, and they're going to bring the cars home in P6 and P7 by the looks of things, which is strong points. It's a double constructors finish. Strong points. As Evan already caught the back of Briefing Cow and has a look into the chicane. Maybe from a bit far back, but DRS is now enabled and he's close to the back of Briefing Cow. What did I say? Gaza pretty much within a second. It's so close. Obviously these guys are going to be fast up the straight. And to back off through Eau Rouge. Oh. Evan comes to the outside. Obviously he's put those softs on and is lightning, so of course that's why he wasn't hanging back for Gaza. Gaza is right on the 3 seconds to Briefing Cow now. But that does mean that Evan currently leads the race. They've got the same penalty, him and Briefing Cow. Both 3 seconds. So, I think Gaza... I think Gaza's mind will be, this season, will be more on a constructor's title with FRT Evan, rather than going for a driver's title himself. I know he'd love a driver's title, but I think if Gaza continues just putting in performances like this, then FRT Evan's going to be over the moon with his teammate doing that. And I think Lord Diaz spun it. He's going to lose a place to Samuel, but that obviously don't make any difference if he's an AI, so in the end it hasn't cost him a position yet, but I mean Zico's about 2 seconds behind him, meaning it will cost him a position in the end, which means the Ferraris will gain a place and be 5 and 7, meaning again a very good evening for them in the end. So Briefing is doing his best to hold on to the back of Evan, but those softs are too strong. So yeah, Evan took the gamble, came in for the softs. If I'm honest, I was amazed that everybody didn't come in for them, but Evan took the gamble and it's paid off. Unfortunately for Gaza, he has dropped 4.5 seconds behind now, so it's going to be a P3 for Gaza. Which, as I said, he will be over the moon with Gaza. I know Gaza, and he'll be over the moon with P3 and Tier 1, so... particularly after getting spun round at the start, so... And it's been a tough week for Gaza in all the other tiers at Spa. So he raced Tier 4 in a realistic tier. That was tough for him. Tier 2 earlier on, he retired. That was tough for him. So to come out with a podium in Tier 1, which is his tier that he drives in, I think he's going to be pretty happy with that one in the end. But I also think he'd be very happy to see the back of Spa-Francorchamps for this season. And I'm sure he'd be welcoming in Jeddah for next week. So, no messing about from Evan. He's not going to try and slow Briefing Cow down at all. It's too risky. Briefing Cow, oh, that was a bit naughty. And, well... Look at Gaza. Has he climbed within a free... He has! Gaza moves to P2. It's a 1-2 for McLaren. He ends up nicking the place by 1.5 attempts. Bit of drama at the end. But in all fairness, that did come from Briefing Cow's attempt on the chicane at the end to get past Evan. Samuel's car finishes P4, Zico 5, Lord DA 6, Birdie 7. But I think those guys will all get promoted up. So actually Ferrari ends up with, I think, 4th and 6th. Lord DA will be promoted to 5th. Obviously this is all pending any penalties, but congratulations to FRT Evan, who comes out our winner. Huge congratulations to Gaza for P2. He'd have resigned himself to P3. Wouldn't have known anything about that, I expect, ahead until he actually... And Briefing Cow, still well done to him on a podium. So for those that have finished, well done to all of them, including you, Birdie. Stood on the lead lap. Let's have a 15-second penalty, but doesn't affect him. And I think it will be turned into a P6. So, if my memory serves me right, Wilkie put in a fantastic performance last week at Spain. And this week it's Birdie's turn to do so. Fantastic P7, or P6 I think, for Birdie. So, well done. Game Awards to driver of the day to Zico, and if he didn't have a few spins, if it was just down to the overtaking he did without the front wing in the first half of the race, and then he consolidated that in the second half, then I would probably agree with it. But no, I think it was hard to pick a driver of the day. What would you guys say out there if you're still watching, Mario? Andrews, Walkie. Who would you go with? Oh, Birdie saying he had rear wing damage. I see. Well, I think that'll be a P6 for you, Birdie. So, no wrong with that, mate. What a race. GG's, McLaren's awesome. Yeah, I agree. Gaza. Great job, Gaza. Just looking at this then. So, Evan P1, Gaza promoted to P2 after Briefing K's attempt to nick the win at the final corner. Samuel P4, but what I believe was in AI for the whole race, and therefore Zico will be P4, Lord DA P5, Bertie P6 with Sam being disqualified. What a shame for Reaper. I was shouting at the screen pretty much to reset to track. But also, so sorry for Evan, and especially Fuggish, because the defence he put up today was absolutely outstanding. So, that is the full list of positions there. Also, congratulations to the ones that picked up CRP, which is Gaza. I'm not sure about Lord DA. Oh no, he's definitely not. He's got a penalty there. So I think actually at the finishers only Gaza will get CRP. So that's a bonus 3 points for you, Gaza. And the fastest lap of the day went to Reaper, but he didn't finish. So just looking up, I think it's FRT Evan will end up with the fastest lap point. So congratulations to those that finished then. Commiserations to those that didn't. Unlucky. And we'll look forward to Jeddah next week. So what does ARC's Jeddah week look like? Well, in previous ARC seasons, Jeddah has been an outstanding race in all the tiers. So it's one to look forward to, actually, in ARC. It really is. So, our usual reminder, we don't have any kids' races this week on Sunday. They're out of season at the moment. They'll be up and going again after Andrews comes back from holiday, which I hope he's enjoying himself on. So, it will be... We have our practice race, effectively, on Tuesday in the Academy. Sometimes that's streamed, sometimes it's not. But if not, we'll be back for Tier 3 at 7:30pm on Wednesday. We will then be back for the realistic tier on Thursday at 8pm. Then, as usual, tier 2 5:45pm on Saturday, and 8pm tier 1. Really hope that it turns out to be as good a race as it has been in previous seasons, because it really has been fantastic. Right, anyway, guys, it's quite late enough already, so thank you to all of you that have tuned in live. Thank you to everybody who watches it back. ARC really appreciates it. It allows us to do things, so please keep doing so. We will see you, if not before, we should see you on Wednesday at 7:30. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I personally, Art Killy, will be back live tomorrow night at 6pm and 8pm for a couple of races. And so you're more than welcome to watch me on my account on Art Killy 9505. But other than that, guys, thank you ever so much and good night. God bless.